Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Suhas Pyar studying second year CSC in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today we are going to discuss few topics on database management system. In this session we are going to discuss about relational model concepts, relational model constraints and relational database schemas. Relational model concepts. The principles of the relational model were first outlined by Dr. E. F. Codd in the year 1970 in a classic paper called A Relational Model of Data for Large Shared Data Banks. In this paper, Dr. Codd proposed the relational model for the database. Components of the relational model are collections of objects or relations that store the data, a set of operators that can act on the relations to produce other relations, data integrity for accuracy and consistency. Now let us know what is relational model database. A relational database is a collection of relations or two-dimensional tables to store information. For example, you might want to store information about all the employees in your company. In a relational database, you create several tables to store different pieces of information about your employees, such as an employee table, department table, salary table, etc. Let us see some terminologies on relational model concept. First one, attribute. It refers to every column present in a table. The attributes refer to the properties that helps us define a relation. Example, employee ID, student roll number, section name, etc. Next, tuple. It is a single row of table that consists of a single record. The relation above consists of four tuples, one of which is like given below. Next, tables. In the case of relational model, all relations are saved in the table format and it is stored along with the entities. A table consists of two properties, namely column and rows, while rows represent records and the column represent attributes. Degree. It refers to the total number of attributes that are there in the relation. The employee relation defined here as degree 5. Relation schema. It represents the relation's name along with its attributes. Example, employee of ID number, name, address, roll number and age is the relation schema for employee. If a schema has more than one relation, then it is known as a relational schema. Next, column. It represents the set of values for a certain attribute. The column ID number is extracted from the relation employee. Next, cardinality. It refers to the total number of rows present in the given table. The employee relation defined here has cardinality 4. Relation instance. It refers to a finite set of tuples present in the relational database management system. A relation instance never has duplicate tuples. Attribute domain. Every attribute has some predefined value and scope, which is known as attribute domain. Next, relation key. Each and every row consists of a single or multiple attributes. It is known as relation key. Null values. The value that is non-known or the value that is unavailable is known as a null value. This null value is represented by the blank spaces. Let us move on to the next topic, that is relational model constraints and relational database schemas. Constraints on databases can generally be divided into three main categories. First one, inherent model based or implicit constraints. The constraints that are inherent in the data model are called inherent model based constraints. Next, schema based or explicit constraints. The constraints that can be directly expressed in the schema of data model using DDL are known as explicit constraints. Third one, application based or semantic constraints. These constraints expressed and enforced using application programs. We are going to discuss about schema based constraints. Schema-based constraints in relational model are domain constraints, key constraints and constraints on null values, entity integrity constraints, and referential integrity constraints. First one, domain constraints. Every domain must contain atomic values, which means composite and multi-valued attributes are not allowed. We perform a data type check here, which means we assign a data type to the column. We limit the values that it can contain. Example, if we assign the data type of attribute age as int, we can't give it values other than data type integer. Example, in the above relation, name is a composite attribute and phone is a multi-values attribute, so it is violating domain constraint. Next, key constraints or uniqueness constraints. These are called uniqueness constraints since it ensures that every tuple in a relation should be unique. A relation can have multiple keys or candidate keys, out of which we choose one of the keys as the primary key. We don't have any restriction on choosing the primary key out of candidate keys, but it is suggested to go with the candidate key with less number of attributes. Null values are not allowed in the primary key, hence not null constraint is also part of the key constraint. Example, in the above table, EID is the primary key and the first and the last tuple have the same value in EID column, that is 0, 1, so it is violating the key constraint. Next, a key satisfies two constraints. Two distinct tuples in any state of the relation cannot have identical values for attributes in the key. Then it is a minimal superkey, that is a superkey from which we cannot remove any attributes and still have the uniqueness property in condition 1 to hold. Next, constraints on null values. Not null constraints make sure that column does not hold null value. When we don't provide value for a particular column while inserting a record into a table, it takes null value by default. By specifying null constraint, we can be sure that particular column cannot have null values. Next, relational database schema. A relational database schema S is a set of relation schemas that belong to the same database, where S is the name of the whole database schema. S equals R1, R2 and so on up to Rn is a set of integrity constraints, where R1, R2 up to Rn are the names of the individual relation schemas within the database S. The integrity constraints are specified on a database schema and are expected to hold on every database state. Example, company database, you can see here. It has employee table, department, department locations, project, works on, and dependent. Next, entity integrity constraints. The primary key attributes of each relation schema R in S cannot have null values in any tuple of relation. This is because primary key values are used to identify the individual tuples. T of primary key not equal to null for any tuple T in a relation R. If primary key has several attributes, null is not allowed in any of these attributes. Note, other attributes of relation may be constrained to disallow null values even though they are not members of the primary key. Entity integrity constraints say that no primary key can take a null value, since using the primary key we identify each tuple uniquely in a relation. We can see the example for entity integrity constraints here. Next, referential integrity constraint. The referential integrity constraint is specified between two relations or tables and used to maintain the consistency among the tuples in two relations. This constraint is enforced through a foreign key. When an attribute in the foreign key of relation R1 has the same domain as the primary key of relation R2, then the foreign key of R1 is set to reference or refer to the primary key of the relation R2. The values of foreign key in a tuple of relation R1 can either take the values of the primary key of some tuple in relation R2 or can take null values, but it can't be empty. We can see the example of referential integrity constraint here. In the above tables, the DNO column of table 1 is the foreign key and DNO in table 2 is the primary key. DNO equals 22 in the foreign key of table 1 is not allowed because DNO equals 22 is not defined in the primary key of table 2. Let's see some other constraints. State constraint. It defines the constraints that a valid state of database must satisfy. Example, domain constraints and key constraints. Integrity constraints and referential integrity constraints also come under state constraints. Next, transition constraints. It defined to deal with the state changes in the database. For example, the salary of an employee can only increase. Such constraints typically enforced by the application of programs or specified using active rules and triggers. That's all for this session. Thank you for watching my video. If you like the video, then please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.